Fair use copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education and research. Fair use is not an infringement of copyright. All my content is found on the public domain. I follow the fair use dealings and fair use guidelines with my opinions and news that I report to my subscribers about the topic of Apostle David E. Taylor and the JMMI cult.
Nobody joins a cult. Nobody joins something they think is going to hurt them. You join a religious organization, you join a political movement, and you join with people that you really like. Every single person felt that they had a purpose there and that they were exceptionally special. And that is how he brought so many young college kids in, so many older black women in, so many people from diverse backgrounds who realized that there was something bigger than themselves that they needed to be involved in, and that Jim Jones offered that. As older people joined, it took a year or so, and he'd convinced the people that, he was doing so much in the community, and so why not, rather than just tithe your 20%, why not sell your home? Give the money to the church. And that is what people began to do.
That's beautiful.
They were giving their life's money and savings to the church, but in exchange, the church was agreeing to take care of them in a community.
We would always try to let each other know next day, well, how long did you sleep? Oh, I slept 2 hours. You only slept 2? Well, I slept an hour and a half. Being in an environment where you're constantly up, you're constantly busy, and you're made to feel guilty if you take too many luxuries like sleeping, you tend to not really think for yourself. And I did allow Jones to think for me because I figured that he had the better plan. I gave my rights up to him, as many others did.
One of the most incredible healings to me was this little old lady, and she was in a wheelchair. Jim said, "Darling, today is your day. You're gonna get healed today. So we're gonna heal those legs of yours. You're gonna walk again." And the whole auditorium went totally crazy.
Come forth, my dear. Stand out. Take that step. Bless your heart. Take that step.
And she takes this real slow, shaky step. She said, "I can feel it." He said, "Yes, I know you can feel it. Now take your other leg and do it." And it's another real slow, shaky step. And he says, "Now I want you to walk toward me."
Move forward. Move forward. Move forward, darling. You can do it.
And she starts taking forward steps. And pretty soon, she is walking. And she starts walking up one of the aisles. And pretty soon, she's running. Well, by this time, the whole congregation's running down these aisles with us. We're all just running around the aisles, just whooping and hollering up a storm. Later, I found out that this person that I had seen healed and cried with was really one of the secretaries, made up to look crippled and blind.
Never shall forget what he's done for me. Oh, what he's done for me. Oh, what he's done for me. Oh, what he's done for me. I never shall forget what he's done for me.
And he said, what you need to believe in is what you can see. He said, if you see me as your friend, I'll be your friend. As you see me as your father, I'll be your father, for those of you that don't have a father. He said, if you see me as your Savior, I'll be your Savior. He said, even so, if you see me as your God, I'll be your God.
Jim was not celibate. Nobody knew that until perhaps it was their time to find out. What he spoke from the pulpit wasn't what he did behind the scenes.
The most forbidden thing to express was to leave.
He had a real issue with separation. People could not leave him. He took it as a betrayal to the cause and to him personally.
He said, I really want to get away from here, and by Christmas I will be gone.
By Christmas, do you want to be gone?
Yeah, well, if
By
I
Christmas,
was
do you want to be gone? By Christmas, do you want to be
I
gone?
would ask you, could I go home to make a trip to see my people?
I have the power to send you home by Christmas, but it's not on Transworld Airlines. It's blasphemy. It's blasphemy to talk about going back when you have not been given any approval. Do you want to go home?
No.
Well, then be seated and shut your mouth and don't be in my face anymore.
Every night at some point, his voice would come over the loudspeaker and he'd say, I'm sending somebody out tonight. Somebody you know, somebody you trust. And they're gonna act like they want to leave. But this is a loyalty test, and you need to turn them in.
A father would turn in a son, a husband would turn in a wife, a small child would turn in a parent. There was no freedom to express to one another what was going on because everything was suspect. The most forbidden thing to express was to leave.
He had a real issue with separation. People could not leave him. He took it as a betrayal to the cause and to him personally.
I think that he feels confident having people talk to their relatives. I think the only way he can survive and sustain what he started is to isolate all his followers from this country and from their families.
The concerned relatives were the ex-members who wanted other family members still in the church to know they could leave. They wanted them to feel that there was an outside world, that Jones was wrong about telling people they could never leave the church and that they'd be treated badly in the real world.
To whomever finds this note, collect all the tapes, all the writing, all the history. The story of this movement, this action, must be examined over and over. We did not want this kind of ending. We wanted to live, to shine, to bring light to a world that is dying for a little bit of love. There's quiet as we leave this world. The sky is gray. People file by us slowly and take the somewhat bitter drink. Many more must drink. If nobody understands, it matters not. I'm ready to die now. Darkness settles over Jonestown on its last day on earth.
I think it's difficult to express to people who don't have this kind of experience that, oh, well, why didn't you leave? It's so horrible, it's so terrible, how could you put yourself in that position? When actually we were working for a cause that we believed in. It's like taking people to the limit and then moving that line, and then moving that line, and then moving that line, and wanting so desperately to believe in the dream and not seeing that the dream has become a nightmare.
A cult disguised as a church?
I got everybody trapped in an attic with chains and the balls to their legs, and they can't get out of here. They don't eat, they don't drink. And Monday through Friday, from 9 a.m. in the morning till 10 a.m. at night, and I'm making them work like slaves.